Hello and welcome to our YouTube video channel. A phone you then see every day arrived to our office, the Sony Xperia ZR. Before I start talking about this phone, I must thank user Ganymed from our website Xperia, because we have this phone at our office thanks to him. He lent it to us immediately after he got it. It was sent to him all the way from Australia. Few people would be so willing to lend such a beautiful and expensive phone. I thank him very much again. Let's take a look at the phone. First of all, the size. It's not a small phone, as it is 13 cm tall. Yet, the phone's body is not big. It's comfortable to work with, it fits just fine in your hand. It's 7 cm wide, 10 cm thick. It weighed 138 grams, which is a typical weight for a higher middle class phone. When you take a closer look at the body, you find out it looks very resistant, and it's really true. The Sony Xperia ZR is waterproof. You can feel free to put it in a glass of water or in swimming pool. I will talk about this later, but thanks to an independent hardware camera button, you can even take pictures underwater, and I will show you this in one of the next videos. The design is really amazing. The phone is very solid, nothing cracks or moves. It's very firm, and even the rounded edges look cool. There is no point in talking about it more. It's simply beautiful. I took the phone out of the box and I knew that I fell in love with it. There are charging pins on the left side as well as a micro USB connector under the cover. The cover doesn't look very firm to me, but the manufacturer did it well, and when the cover is in its place, it's flush with the phone body. On the right side, there is a hardware camera button. The button is not the biggest, but it's important that it's even there at all. It's easy to press and the different settings are very steady. The power button is very distinctive. Its design is excellent and it's a common feature of this year's Sony Xperia phones. The button is amazing for everyday use. The volume button is quite narrow, but it isn't uncomfortable to use. I like even its location, that I can comfortably reach other buttons, though I have to bend my thumb quite a lot to reduce the volume. The headphone socket is also hidden under the cover, so there is no surprise. When you take the back cover off, you find a battery that can be replaced by the user. It's got a capacity of 2300 mAh, and I have the same battery in my Sony Xperia SP, where the battery lasts 2 days of active use. I don't think it will be much different with Xperia ZR. Yet Xperia SP has only a dual-core processor. Xperia ZR has a quad-core processor, yet it's very modern, economical and at the same time powerful. Each core runs at up to 1.5 GHz and it's the same processor as in Xperia Z or Xperia ZR, and the processor works perfectly fine even in these phones. I must also add the processor is complemented by 2 GB RAM. So this phone is one of the very best in its category. I must also add that the display is 4.5 inches across with a resolution of 1280 and 720 pixels. So it's a very powerful device but without full HD resolution. Personally, I regard this as a big advantage because there is no point in higher resolution in such a screen. In this way, Sony Xperia ZR also has a huge performance advantage, as it can hardly even happen that the processor or RAM wouldn't be enough. It's a big shame that this phone is not sold worldwide. It would be definitely extremely successful. When we look at the settings, there are not many surprises. There is stamina mode that serves for a longer battery life. In the settings, there is a white color balance, so this is also a nice feature. When we take a look at the other things, we find out that there is also near-field communication technology, Bluetooth 4 and others. The phone supports LTE 4G network. The software is fully complete and the only missing thing is an infrared blaster for operating household devices. Apart from this one missing thing, the phone is absolutely amazing. In the storage information we find out that the internal memory is 8 GB, which can be expanded with a microSD memory card up to 64 GB. You will never need large memory. Current Xperia phones don't have such a problem. Such a modern phone as Xperia ZR of course offers support for many applications that you can find in the majority of good Xperia phones. I am not sure how well designed are many applications icons. This is up to each to judge. If I hold the camera button a bit longer, I can set it to immediately take a picture. The camera resolution is 13 megapixels and it can record full HD video. The picture quality isn't completely marvelous, but it's among the best on today's market. And it probably isn't so different from other Xperia phones. Yet, the manufacturers should work on this because we are used to better pictures. I am getting to the end. It's a marvelous phone. All told, you are looking right now at an Android 4.12 Jelly Bean phone. There is an available update to Android 4.22 Jelly Bean. So we are talking about an amazing phone which is however not being sold in Europe. And it is quite difficult to get it even in the rest of the world. It's a shame the manufacturer decided this about Xperia ZR. There is basically no competition for this phone on today's market, and I think customers would be very happy with this phone. Even though the price is quite high, but it corresponds to what you get. Potential customers would like it, but we may get a similar phone at the beginning of September that will be sold everywhere. As an Xperia user, I can tell the difference between Xperia SP and Xperia ZR. The phones are similar, but Xperia ZR hardware is simply better. I don't hesitate to say that Xperia ZR is the best Sony Xperia phone I have used so far. Thank you for your attention and I hope to see you soon.